Hey guys, it's Hink here, and today I can't sugarcoat this one. It's not going to be a good video for a lot of the guys. Now, you know me, guys. I'm like, love yourself, maximize yourself. But guys, like the one thing I'm not going to do is lie to you on here. And size matters, okay? And unfortunately, I have some data that shows just to the extent that it does. It's not all bad, but stick with me because I have a feeling that some guys might be a little depressed watching this video, but just stay with me to the very end. All right, guys, so this is the first paper we're going to be talking about. It's titled Simultaneous Penile-Vaginal Intercourse O. I'm going to be saying O for the majority of the video for YouTube rules, is associated with satisfaction as far as sexual life, partnership, and mental health. What this paper did is it looked at over 1,500 Czech women, and it looked at basically their overall frequency with which they had like PIV penetration, intercourse, their orgasm rate, and the consistency of achieving that O from penetration. And what they found was that all aspects of their sexual health were essentially improved in both male and female when the big O was achieved through PIV penetration. Now, guys, this isn't talking about a blended O where there is, stimulation with your hand or with some sort of vibration device at the same time. This is purely just pee-pee and vajayjay, okay? And I know, oh, you're a doctor and you say pee-pee. Yeah, guys, I am, okay? So interestingly, they also found this stat that an increase in one simultaneous big O per month was associated with an increase of satisfaction of 0.2 units after adjusting for age. So they were actually able to quantify just how much better the PIV penetration big O was as far as increasing happiness. Listen to this. The conclusion was, for both sexes, the PVI, the penile-vaginal intercourse, frequency and the simultaneous big O produced by that are associated with a greater life, sexual partnership, and mental health, okay? What do you mean that's all bad? If you can get a girl a big O from penetration alone, then that's a good thing and it improves outcomes. Well, guys, stick with me, okay? I'm not going to try to drop a bombshell on you. But guys, here's another paper here. Women's relationship quality is associated with specific penile-vaginal intercourse, big O, and frequency. And so what they found in this paper is that basically if the girl had to do her own thing to get over the top, that was inversely, meaning negatively corresponded with love. And so the more that the girl has to take care of it on her own, the less likely she was to feel that love sensation, however they quantified that. But more importantly, penile-vaginal big O frequency corresponded with satisfaction, intimacy, passion, love, and the overall relationship quality. So guys, if you can get that big O from penetration, actually it's better for everybody, for both men and women. And guys, of course, we're talking about heterosexual relationships here. So once again, Hink, why are you saying that this is a bad thing? Well, guys, here's where kind of the bad news kicks in, and I've alluded to this before, but here's a paper, and it says that the vaginal O is associated with vaginal education, focusing mental attention on vaginal sensations, the intercourse duration, and a preference for a longer penis. What this paper, which is, they actually did a pretty decent breakdown, but once again, guys, it was a survey of 1,000 actually Czech women, once again, in this paper, but they found that basically the women that were more likely to have these penetrative big O's, those were the ones that were more likely to prefer a larger penis. And guys, here's another paper, once again, titled Women Who Prefer Longer Penises Are More Likely to Have Vaginal O's. Implication for evolutionary theory of the vaginal O. So, guys, once again, this is another paper that looked at over 300 women that reported another online survey, guys. We're going to talk about that. They found that the women who prefer deeper penile vaginal stimulation are more likely to have the vaginal O, consistent vaginal O, and they basically said that that can evolve for their choice in mates. So guys, we have papers saying that if you can get a penetrative big O, that's better for everybody. And now we have a paper showing that if you have a bigger peepee, you're more likely able to get your girl a vaginal O. So guys, size matters. And unfortunately, size is also correlated with attractiveness, okay? So here's a paper titled Penis Size Interacts with Body Shape and Height to Influence Male Attractiveness. So what they did was they had a bunch of women look at different CGI constructions of men with different body shapes, including the shoulder to waist ratio, as well as manipulating the actual size of the penis on the CGI model. but they found that women viewed the larger flaccid penises as more attractive, okay? We're going to touch on that again. Quick recap, guys. Penetrative big O's are better for everybody, especially women. If you're bigger, you're more likely to get your girl a penetrative big O. And if you're bigger, women are more likely to rate you as more attractive, okay? If you're a smaller guy, or even, one could argue a more average guy, that can be pretty depressing. Once again, my channel is all about how you need to love yourself. To some extent, I've put a lot of evidence out here about how size doesn't matter as much. So I know that some of you guys are probably like punching the air on this one, but you need to stick with me because it's not all doom and gloom here, guys. First of all, why it's not all doom and gloom? Well, you don't need to be huge. Most of these studies, guys, including my study on like what size do women want based on science, that was one of my earliest videos. It showed that the preference that women want is just slightly above average. It's about 6 inches, non-bone pressed, by right at about 5 inches, guys. And so that's not like these gargantuan peepees. That's the good news right there, is that they might want just slightly above average, but not much more. Number 2, guys, most women don't have penetrative O's. They just don't. I mean, of course, all the women that I've been with do. I mean, obviously, guys, I'm just kidding. A lot of women find satisfaction in many different ways, including just having that intimacy with your partner, even if they don't get over the top, is still very fulfilling for a lot of women. And then, of course, there are other ways, like if you are a DJ, if you know what I mean, like, you guys get it, right? There's a lot of other ways that you can give plenty of pleasure and have a very enjoyable experience that are completely irrelevant to the size of your manhood. And guys, once again, if you look at the papers where they actually survey women, almost 90% of women say without a doubt that they are happy and they are content with the size of their partner's gimme. So once again, guys, you should not be insecure about the size of your manhood, okay? That being said, a lot of you are going to be. I know I was. And so I'm just trying to present a little bit of a counter argument here. Now, guys, what has been my experience? Well, most of you all know that I have put on 1.5 inches in this point in length and 1 inch in girth, and it has completely transformed my life entirely. So I would be lying to your face if I said that, oh, bigger is not better. Like, guys, in my personal experience, like, I'm way happier now. Number one, my confidence in just kind of life is through the roof, okay? That BDE, the big D energy, is very real in my opinion. First of all, this goes back to my dysmorphia. If you don't know what dysmorphia is or small penis syndrome is, you should watch my videos on it. But like, I had crippling like small penis anxiety and dysmorphia where I would like dread going into urinals. I would dread watching movies if there was a potential for a nude scene. Like, I've literally corrected my dysmorphia, which is phenomenal for me, guys. And so that is just overcoming that dysmorphia has completely transformed my life. I used to basically be paranoid about the size of my flaccid D, how it appeared in shorts when I would work out, and then heaven forbid I would try to shower afterwards. That fear is completely gone now. I'm not gonna lie to you, like when my girl compliments the size of my junk, like it feels great for her to be like, wow, like that's big, like wow, that's huge, like oh my God, that feels so big. Like it feels amazing. It's a big ego stroke, at least for me. Yeah, I mean, it's revolutionized my life. Now, that being said, for you smaller guys, it's not all doom and gloom once again, because what can you do about it? Well, number one, you have to realize that, I'm not going to belabor this point, but size isn't everything. I've already mentioned that. Number two, guys, there's a lot you can do about it. The most important thing you can do is actually get lean. The leaner you are, proportionally the bigger your junk is going to look, and you're going to lose fat pad. If you think you're below average, but you're like most average Americans and overweight or obese, and you have 1.5 inch, 2 inch fat pad, if you lost 30 to 50 pounds, decreased your fat pad in half, you would have an extra 1/2 inch in visible length that you can use as penetrative length. So you should get in shape. Also, along with that, that study that I mentioned about how women rated attractiveness, the number one thing that they rated as far as attractiveness was actually that shoulder to waist ratio. The people that they viewed at the lowest as far as that study on attractiveness, that study, not Hink here, okay, was actually the obese or the models that had a very thick like waist to shoulder ratio. So the thinner you are, the more pronounced that shoulder to waist ratio is going to be, the more attractive you're going to be viewed. And guys, like, of course, you can actually get bigger. That's part of what my channel is about. You guys have seen the countless videos that I made on how to increase the size of your manhood. There's all that information. If you want it in a concise, easy to follow step-by-step guide, of course, guys, I have my course, which is available, getting great reviews and honestly selling like hotcakes. And then, of course, you want to maximize your actual erection quality. The better your erection quality, the bigger you are going to appear. And also, the better your erection quality in general, the better blood flow to that area, the bigger your flaccid is going to be, okay? So doing things like cardio is going to do that. Making sure you have a healthy diet is going to do that. Avoiding things like nicotine. So guys, here's the hack too, okay? Here's a study that it's titled, Women's Partnered Big O Consistency is Associated with a Greater Duration of the Penile Vaginal Intercourse, but not of foreplay. So a lot of guys just focus on, hey, if you want to have a good encounter, you really need to connect with your girl. Lots and lots of foreplay. Make sure you work up all this stuff. This paper actually says quite the opposite. It says, in contrast to the assumptions of many sex therapists and educators, more attention should be given to improve the quality and duration of the penile vaginal intercourse rather than foreplay. So actually, and without getting too much into my personal life, this has been my experience as well, is that like it can take a while to sometimes get over the top, but it's worth it. And so guys, once again, you want to maximize your ability to last. And so if you haven't seen my video on basically how to last longer, check that out. But once again, lasting longer and maximizing your erection quality, those are two hacks that are going to help overcome any kind of size issues that you might have for the most part. So guys, size isn't everything, but according to the science, like it does matter. I don't know how else to say it, okay? So don't downvote me to oblivion in this video because I'm just bringing you the facts, guys. Maybe for some of you guys, I should have held your hand while I made this video. I'm not really trying to be a dick there. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of hard to hear, but there is some science behind it, okay? So let me know what you think of this video. Am I way off here? If you need to reach me for consultation or coaching, of course, my Patreon, and of course, guys, my courses are available if you want to learn how to get bigger yourself, okay? Other ways to support me and Callie are in the description of the video, guys. Remember, now listen to me here, guys. There's nothing wrong with self-improvement, okay? There's nothing wrong with wanting to get bigger, okay? Or get stronger, whatever it may be. But you are enough, okay? Don't let this video where I say, oh yeah, you know, bigger size leads to better encounters. It's not everything, guys, okay? You are enough. But if you're upset about your situation, then freaking do something to change it. All right, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Steady calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.